What's going on, traders? Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to learn more about supply and demand trading to try to grow your trading account, start now by hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. And let me know in the comments what pairs you're watching this week. I love to talk to you guys about what you're seeing in the markets and what pairs you're looking at. So let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, looking at the US dollar COT reports, this past week they added 1,400 longs, but they also added 1,800 shorts, which kind of tells me that they are just kind of holding up price in this area. And if you look at the higher time frames, it just kind of gives perspective of what the banks are doing. We're in this monthly area of demand right here. So in my opinion, they are just taking profits from their shorts that they've been accumulating all the way down there. And if you look at the 4-hour, it's kind of all over the place. We did have this uptrend here. I don't know why my trend line's like that. We did have this uptrend up here. Now we have a downtrend here by the removal of this demand and this nice trend line down. Nice shorting opportunity. It wasn't much chances on any of the currency pairs to actually trade, but the 4-hour is in a downtrend. So in my opinion, if anything, you should probably still be shorting the US dollar, but the fact that this daily time frame is sideways, meaning we have one supply zone removed, momentum shift, there's no trend line to draw here. This supply has not been removed up here, so it's sideways. So in my opinion, it's a little risky trading it right now. What I like to see is all three of my time frames, meaning the daily, 4-hour, and 1-hour trending, and then buying pullbacks. That is what I prefer to do. But in the meantime, if you're trading on these smaller time frames, like 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute, or something like that, in my opinion, the US dollar is still a shorting opportunity as of now. Okay, on to the EURUSD. As you can see, this we have a new daily supply area right here of the break of this daily demand. So now the daily is officially sideways on the daily chart on the euro. And if you look at the 4-hour, we are on an uptrend now. So it's a little difficult to gauge what's going on. In the last weekly forecast video, I highlighted this zone for a nice trade. Unfortunately, I was stopped out, but somebody commented saying that they caught this trade. They probably drew it, up here or something like that. But I'm not a fan of doing that, just from what I've seen in my experience. If anything, I could have drawn it that big only because this zone was hit as this momentum line was changing. But, if something like this would have happened where, like that, then I think it'd be okay to draw it like that. But, as you can see, it failed, but the 4-hour is on an uptrend. But looking at the daily time frame, do you really want to be buying right now? It's a little difficult to gauge. If you look at the CAR reports too, they actually, they're adding to their longs again. There's 7,700 longs they added last week, and only like 200 shorts that they added, which is pretty significant considering that they are overall 236,000 long to 73,000 short. So what I think is happening is, if you look at the weekly time frame up here, they're just taking profits here from their longs that they've been riding up all the way up here. But in my eyes, it's tough to gauge. I kind of am expecting a move down to this weekly zone, but we could honestly just see a push up, see the US dollar get weaker, and break this zone for another buying opportunity on the euro. As of now, if I am going to buy the euro right now, I would have to definitely see this daily demand remove first, and hopefully get a nice 4-hour or a nice 1-hour demand zone for a long setup. Alright, looking at the Aussie US dollar, not much on the CAR reports. They got rid of like 500 longs and added 73 shorts, so not much to look at there. But we are in this weekly area of supply that actually has been removed. So what that has done has created this little demand zone here. I know it's not a huge move away. I'm not saying I would ever take a zone like that. I'm just saying this is the zone responsible for removing that supply. So that is why I'm drawing that. So there is some demand down below, and actually I'm gonna bring this up now. I was thinking about creating like a Patreon, something like that, where it'd be like, you know, $5 Canadian a month or something really cheap, because where you guys would get access to my charts throughout the whole month. So basically, anytime I draw a zone like this, you would have my chart. It'd be a view mode only, and then I would save it, and then you guys would hit refresh, and then this zone would update, just so you guys can kind of track the zones that I'm tracking. Let me know if you're watching this right now. Let me know what you think of that idea. I thought it'd be kind of cool. It's not going to be anything super crazy expensive or anything, but only because I've done a lot of work on figuring out how to draw these zones and stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of cool, and I thought you guys would enjoy that and could learn something from it. So let me know what you think of that. I plan on maybe doing that next week at some point. But if you look at the daily time frame here, this trend is still holding. We now have the removal of that weekly supply that I pointed out. But if you go to the 4 hour, 4 hours kind of all wonky right now. We do have a sideways market right now on the Aussie dollar. And also with that Patreon thing I was telling you guys about, I would also have all of the trend lines and everything, and this would be like the trend, so you guys would know the trend lines, the trend, and all the zones. So I thought it'd be pretty cool. Sorry to keep bringing it up, but I wanted to mention that as well. But the 4 hour and the Aussies, not much is going on. So as far as the Aussie goes, there's not much here to go off of. It's all sideways right now. So I'd probably, in order to get in long, if the US dollar does get weaker, I would probably have to see that, then a removal of that zone, and then maybe a buy area for price to go up to like the 78 area on the Aussie dollar. Okay, looking at the GBPUSD call reports. The week before, they actually added 12,000 longs, and this week they got rid of 2,000 longs, but they also got rid of about 2,800 shorts as well, which kind of tells me that they're just holding up price to maybe take some profits off of all of their longs. And if you look on the monthly chart on my top left, it's not really a surprise as they're coming up to that area. Daily time frame right here, the trend is still up. It's still holding very nicely, but buying right now is a little risky. It all depends what the dollar does, but I would want to see that zone removed before even considering going long. But I mean, it's kind of looking a little weak here. The 4 hour trend is up. If you look at the 1 hour here, the 1 hour is sideways right now. But this zone right here is actually holding up. It's what is holding up price right now. For me to get in short, I would definitely have to see both of these zones removed before even considering it. And if that happened, it would also be removing this trend line as well. So the pound is kind of a waiting game right now. Everything is kind of a waiting game according to my strategy. But hopefully you guys can look at these zones and see what I'm looking at, and take some trades off of those zones on a smaller time frame, like this 4 hour. I probably wouldn't have just taken that 4 hour, but you could have. So yeah. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, that's what I see on the British pound. All right, on to USDJPY. Not much on the call reports. They added 790 longs, added 286 shorts. So not much going on there. They still overall are 82% short to 18% long, which is still very short. Still makes me think that they're going to be pushing price up. What could happen? It's kind of similar to the USDCAD if you just watched that, where we have this trend line being broken, which could create demand right here. And then what would be nice to get a short in would be something like that, and then a short right there, and then boom, to the downside. But as of now, I'm kind of just holding off. I'm holding off on essentially everything based on the fact that the US dollar daily is sideways and doesn't really line up with all my time frames. So it's kind of risky to be doing anything right now, in my opinion. But there are some zones you could definitely take some day trades off of on smaller time frames. I just personally don't really have the time to be doing that. If you look at the daily time frame too, there's this nice momentum shift down here with the break of this trend line and supply. Kind of similar to the US dollar, though there is no trend line. So in order to get long, I would really have to see something like this, and then you could connect your trend line like that, and then you could connect your trend line like that, and we'd have some opportunities to start longing the dollar. As of now, if anything, I'm neutral to bearish the US dollar. So all of the US dollar pairs, I'm still bearish or neutral. Okay, on to the Canadian USDCAD. The longs, they actually added almost 2,000. They got rid of 247 shorts, which actually brought their percentage from 58% short to 57% short, which is not really surprising as we are reacting off of this daily demand down here very nicely. This downtrend is still holding right now. If you come to the 4 hour, if you look on the monthly top left, there's a lot of profit margin if we could get in short somewhere. It'd be nice. It's just, where are we going to get in short at? If you look right here, if you were watching earlier, I mentioned the Patreon for my zone. So basically what you would be seeing is, me updating the zone just like this. We now have that zone, that removed that zone, and just something like that. So that is what I see for this right now. We are coming up to this trend line, so you could see, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a downward movement from here. We'll have to watch the dollar to see. This zone's not bad. The only thing is this 4 hour is sideways now. Based on the removal of this demand or supply rather, sorry. What could happen if the US dollar does get strong? We'd see that, which would create a zone based on the fact that it got rid of this supply, which would be a good indication that there's a lot of demand down here. And it could be something exactly like this right here. This could be the basing of the zone like that. And then we have the break of this trend line, which is also very important. It signifies a momentum shift, something like that. That's if the US dollar does get strong. So I'll definitely be watching the DXY before making my mind up. And as for now, this is, in my opinion, this is a short. I'm not saying to short the zone. I'm not giving financial advice at all. I'm just saying, in my opinion, if anything, I'm going to be continuing to follow the trend because I'm not a huge fan of taking trades counter trend anymore based on the testing that I have done. All right, on to USD Swiss. As far as longs go, they only got rid of about 160, which is essentially nothing. But they did get rid of some of their short positions, which means, maybe they're probably getting rid of some shorts up here at this supply level here that I had drawn out for quite a while. Nothing I would ever take. It's tested multiple times, but clearly there is a lot of supply on the daily right here, a lot of selling. So in order to get long this pair, similar to everything I've showed you, it'd have to be like that, connect the trend line, then you'd have the trend on the daily and you'd be good to go. As far as trending markets, as far as this demand goes down here, I'm personally not going to look for buys down there. It depends on what the US dollar is doing. So it's kind of a difficult situation. Ultimately, I would like to see a rally, if you look in the top left, up to this monthly area of supply, which would be a great opportunity. Oh, what happened there? If you look on the 4 hour right here, we did have a trend up, but it was ultimately stopped by the supply zone here that pushed down. And actually, you could draw another one here that I missed, like that, because it removed that trend line. So, since the daily is sideways, it's difficult, but it is reacting off of this daily supply. So, that short on the 4 hour is really, I don't love it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, based on the fact that daily supply is in control again. All right, looking at gold, XAUUSD. They're very long still, but they actually got rid of 5,700 longs and they actually got rid of 6,100 shorts as well, which is it's kind of comes as a surprise. We're reacting off of this this monthly area of demand up here. If you look at the daily time frame, it is sideways, but this daily demand is in control. No, I don't consider these breaks because of these huge wicks, and the fact that this is still holding gives me the clue that this is still demand down here. I don't know why I don't have this zone drawn right here, but that is a supply zone, and that is a supply zone. If you want to know why, maybe just leave a comment down below. and I can get back to you on that, exactly why those are two supply zones right there. So the daily is sideways, but we are reacting off of that daily demand. So this setup here, it actually wouldn't have been a bad setup to take on gold, based on the fact that if you look at the daily, like I said, bottom left, the daily demand is in control. So 4-hour longs wouldn't be a bad idea. I know this is super weird. There's a reason I have this zone drawn like that. I'm not going to get into detail. Maybe send me a message or leave a comment down below, and I can explain it. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing on gold right now. It's kind of a tricky one. So overall, I'm still very bullish on gold, based on the fact that they're still extremely long on gold. And top left corner, we're reacting off of this daily or monthly area of demand. Oh, and this weekly supply has been removed, so that's a huge bonus as well on the top right. All right, last but not least, on to oil. They got rid of 27,000 longs, which is pretty significant, but they actually got rid of 8,000 shorts, which tells me they're taking profits, and it's not really a surprise based on the fact that we are in this monthly area of supply, reacting off of this weekly area of supply, top right as well, and a daily area of supply, so it doesn't really come as a shocker to me. If you look on the 4-hour, I think that's a 1-hour trend right there. Yeah. So that's a 1-hour trend line, not a 4-hour trend line. Now you won't be able to see it based on all the codes I have in here. The trend, I'm not going to call it down. It is sideways, but basically down. I'm still not super interested in shorting oil based on the call reports and everything. But if I did, it would have to probably break that, and that would be better too. Because we are reacting off of these supply areas. But in my opinion, oil is still very bullish. I do expect it to keep rallying. This daily trend is still holding. So in order for me to go long again, I would have to see this daily supply broken, which I think would break the weekly and would create a 4-hour uptrend. And in my opinion, then I would start to look for longs again on oil. But as of now, the 4-hour sideways, we're reacting off of higher time frame supply. So right now I'm just sitting on my toes. Alright everyone, thanks again for watching this week's Forex forecast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well if you don't mind. I really appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're looking at this week, and maybe we can get in touch and you can send me a chart and let me know what you're looking at. I always like looking at charts. So with that being said, let's have a great trading week and let's make some money. Cheers.